Wait.
Sensei, one thing I noticed that you've included on your curriculum, which I found very refreshing, was the whole idea of a warm-up. Because it seems like nowadays we have classes that are 45 minutes an hour, very little warm-up because I want to get into the technical aspect. But I know your belief is that that's an essential part if you want longevity in your journey in the martial arts.
Absolutely. You know, I talk about the three things you need, Richard, is endurance, quick recovery, flexibility. And the flexibility is so important because what happens, three things get stuck in the muscles. It's either trauma, or it's energy, or it's emotional trappage. Gets trapped in the muscles. And what happens if you don't release those, so we always take it on as pain. Now, there's two different types of pain. It's either emotional pain or it's muscle pain. And in the stretching, it teaches you how to release those type of emotions or that type of trauma or energy stuck in your body. In the stretching, it's like a domino effect, Richard. You start with one muscle and then you start with the next muscle and you stretch the next muscle and you stretch, and pretty soon it starts opening up, and then there's a flow of energy. And then everything is like flushing. It's like something that's stuck in the joints and you turn the valve and it flushes out. It's like, ah. Or if you find a vertebrae, hey, this out, and the muscles are spasming, and this is how your vertebrae works. But if it closes in a spasm and you're pinching the nerve, it's because not necessarily the muscles are spasm. It might be a lot of stuff stuck in there. And the stuckness can be energy, it can be emotional trappage, or it can be trauma. So if you learn how to work the flexibility and you learn proper stretching, it unlocks one another, so that way less injuries, less have to go to the doctor, you're releasing stress, you're releasing frustration, you're releasing energy stuff, and plus you're releasing trauma that gets stuck. Anytime your body takes an impact, that's trauma. You fall, that's trauma. You slam your head against something, is trauma. Something falls from it. Anytime your body's taking impact, that's trauma. And if it gets stuck in the muscles or in the joints, if you don't release them, we always take it as, oh, I'm tight, and we start to move around and fidgeting. We're tight because we think we're just tight, but not necessarily that. So the stretching that I developed so many different types of stretching, but I have beginning stretching, I have intermediate stretching, I have advanced stretching, and then I have a stretch what is called the celebrity stretch. And the celebrity stretch is about lining up the mind, body, and soul. It's about centering and releasing. And so that's why it's so important. And I'm so glad that you mentioned the stretching, because in the curriculum, like level 1 and 2, we don't do the stretching because it's a lot of mental. Okay, you have to understand it. So in level 1 and 2, we're teaching a lot of the mental, teaching your body, finding the coordination, rhythm, and timing, and so forth. But level 3, you have to start, because in level 3 is when you start this basic stretching, because without that, you cannot continue doing the impact on level 3, because in level 3 you're actually getting away from impact and taking impact, so you have to make sure that you're stretched for that. As I was telling you, there's 3 different types of impact. There's a slapping impact, there's a shattering impact, and there's a breaking impact. So we have to make sure that those are released.
So that's great. So the curriculum is very, what we call holistic, right? And that's a huge difference that I think, again, people need to know. It's not just the physical. You have the spiritual, you have the mental, and you combine them all.
Well, Richard, what everybody's used to is external. Everybody's used to the outside training, kicking harder, punching harder, jumping higher, running longer. Everybody knows that. Okay? But what they lost somewhere along the line is the internal. And the internal is about that. That's what this curriculum gives you. It gives you back the balance, the yin and yang. It takes you external, you have no choice but to do. But the internal is part of it. And finding the balance, the yin and yang, finding that balance is important. And that's what this curriculum will give you. It will give you a balance.
That's wonderful. So again, the curriculum is going to be available, of course, in DVD, but
Yes.
it'll also be on your online training site.
That's
correct?
right. So if it's usually like what happens, Richard, online, if you're learning online, at least I get a chance to see you And if you get online and if you, for instance, level 1, and if you finish level 1 and you wanted to be tested on it, you would film yourself and send it to me, and I'll take a look at it and look at you and see if you understand the material. If you do understand it, on my website, I will put your name and put level 1 on it, and that way I'm endorsing that you do understand level 1, all the way up until level 5, because each time and each level that you are being tested on, I get a chance to know that you understand the material I'm passing on, that you understand online the material, not just guessing or not just memorizing, but really knowing it.
Right. And so people can go online and ask you questions, training questions, problems they're having, you know, with maybe different techniques in the curriculum?
You know, in the curriculum, you because you actually won't be able to ask questions. It's like having a video, because I'm teaching a class on it.
Right.
But there will be a time on the website where
That's what
once
I mean,
once a
an
month,
email.
later on, you're
Yeah.
right, Richard, later on, that, you know, once a month, that I would come online live, that you can ask the questions on any of the levels, and I'll be able to answer you live.
Oh, great. So like a live chat.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
excellent. So
But
it'll
on
be
the
very
levels,
interactive.
on each level, you'll get a chance to learn it, and then send your videotape yourself and send it to me, and I will get a chance to take a look at it. And either if you didn't pass it, I'll send it back to you with a note saying what you need to work on in order to pass it. So that way, at least I know you're not memorizing. I know that you're owning the material. And that's important to me, that you own the material.
Hi. So the web address is at www.bennythejet.com.
.com, that's right.
So they can go to that site and away
Absolutely.
we go.
That's right.
Excellent. Sensei.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
So-
And thank you for being internal.
Thank you.